Since the beginning of the universe and the emergence of the human realm, thousands of ethnic groups have bloomed like bamboo shoots, like stars embellishing the vast sky. In this chaotic world, the birth of the four great paths is undoubtedly like a dragon going out to sea, bringing endless changes and changes. The cruelty and brutality of the battle are evident at this moment, and the contradictions between the four great avenues are escalating, finally unable to be suppressed. Every battle is a life and death disaster, and every attack and defense seems to be manipulated by fate. Countless lives have vanished in this war, leaving only the ground covered in blood and a shattered world. In this changing world, some people are disappointed and choose to give up, sinking into the worldly troubles. Some people choose to persist, believing that only through continuous effort and cultivation can they establish themselves in this new world. So, a brand new era of cultivation began, and people moved forward in exploration, searching for their own path. And the protagonist of this story is one of them. A young man rising from the Weimar family will join hands with the entire clan to advance and retreat, rise in this new world rule, and complete the struggle of the ancient war. Chapter 1. Tianqieze Tang Family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the morning mist, Tianqieze appears particularly mysterious. With the sunlight shining, the blue houses and buildings on the crescent-like island are faintly visible, like an ink painting. This is Yueyang Island, the ancestral home of the one clan, three tribes, Tang family, and one of the few places in the Tianqieze that possesses high concentration spiritual energy. Today, the Tang family has a history of over 300 years of development. Here, the strong cultivators of the Tao realm are the supreme beings, who possess immense power and can control the vast majority of resources in this cultivation realm. For foundation building and chi refining cultivators, this is undoubtedly a blessed place. When they practice here, they can achieve twice the result with half the effort, and the effect is far superior to that of ordinary spiritual vessels. Often at the edge of the Tianqieze, scattered cultivators gather here, searching for rare spiritual herbs and precious minerals. Although they are relatively weak, their courage and resilience are admirable. They are constantly exploring and growing in this mysterious meteorite shower. In this mysterious meteorite shower, it is full of unknowns and mysteries. Every corner may hide unknown dangers, and every spirit grass and/or may contain powerful power. At this moment, in a tiny wooden tower on the Moon Island, moonlight shone through the windows of the tower and onto Tang Tianyu, casting a mysterious glow on him. He sat cross-legged in the formation, as if isolated from the world, leaving only him to converse with his own heart. Breaking through to the 8th level of the chi refining realm is a big surprise for me, Tang Tianyu whispered to himself, his eyes flashing with excitement. His body trembled slightly, as if enjoying the joy of breakthrough. I am already 17 years old, which is considered a young and meaningful person in the family, he chuckled to himself, but his eyes were full of confidence. He is aware of his own strength and value. If it were in the outside world, a teenager like me with an 8-fold chi refining period would be enough to provoke competition from various forces. A hint of determination flashed in his eyes, and he knew that his path was still long, but as long as he had the strength, he would definitely be able to walk his own path. The sky is slightly bright, and a gentle breeze blows with a hint of coolness. Tang Tianyu walked out of the dueling pavilion and looked at his grandfather in front of him, feeling a surge of warmth in his heart. Tang Zhennan, the biological grandfather of Tang Tianyu, was a member of the Zhen generation, ranking 7th in age. He was a cultivator during the middle period of foundation construction and also the guardian of the dueling pavilion. Tang Tianyu was able to reach the 8th stage of chi refining at such a young age, thanks to his strong support. Standing in front of the door, looking at Tang Tianyu, a hint of surprise flashed in his eyes, followed by a kind smile. "Xiao Yuzi, have you broken through again?" he asked softly. Tang Tianyu nodded slightly, with a hint of joy in his eyes. He knew that his grandfather had always valued him and cared about his progress in cultivation. Tang Zhennan burst out laughing, "Good kid, truly worthy of being my own grandson. 17-year-old Qi practitioner Bajong, your breakthrough this time has made the old man face me. Don't worry, the old man will go find the clan chief to give you a reward. Number 34, Tang Zhennan smiled and said, while speaking, he had already pulled Tang Tianyu towards the Tang family. At the center of Moon Island, a huge building stands tall and towering. That is the meeting hall of the Tang family, where the elders of the Tang family hold meetings. With a slight creaking sound, the wooden door was slowly pushed open, and a silver-gray ancient stone-carved hall appeared before us. A faint ray of light penetrated through the crack in the door, casting a hazy and solemn light on the stone walls inside the hall. When the two of them walked into the hall, everyone immediately stopped whispering and focused their attention on them. Several elderly people stood up first, with a puzzled expression on their faces, clearly puzzled by the sudden appearance of these two people. Zhennan, do you have anything to do? One of the elders in the clan, who was slightly older last year, asked. Tang Zhennan shook his head as if he didn't want to talk about their affairs at this moment. Instead, he changed the topic and said, is there anything important that the clan chief and elders need to discuss now? Everyone fell into a brief silence, as if pondering Tang Zhennan's words. Suddenly, an elderly man with a slightly hunched figure spoke up and said, the Immortal Sword Sect has received news today that the demon beasts in the inner sea have suddenly become restless and their numbers have surged. Many disciples of the Immortal Sword Sect stationed in the Heavenly Meteor City have died as a result, and even one of the founding elders of the Immortal Sword Sect has fallen due to this. This sentence was like a stone thrown into the water, and everyone showed a shocked expression. The originally peaceful clan hall suddenly became noisy, with various voices of discussion echoing one after another. Upon hearing this, Tang Zhennan frowned slightly, clearly feeling the seriousness of the matter. He looked at the clan leader and elders, with a hint of worry in his eyes. This news is undoubtedly a huge shock for their entire family. They will have to face a brand new and unknown challenge. And the initiator of all of this is actually those originally calm inner sea monsters. They all know that the number of demon beasts is not very large, and as long as they don't go deep into the inner sea, such a thing should not happen. But the situation this time is too abnormal, and the monsters' riot seems to be unconventional. Moreover, the other elder continued, in recent years, it seems that demon beasts have rarely penetrated the land and become active. This sudden outbreak of demon beasts is quite unusual. Anyway, the Immortal Sword Sect asked our Tang family to send 5 foundation-building cultivators and 50 Qi refining cultivators to defend against the monsters in the Tianqieze city. Tang Zhennan frowned slightly, since it's the order of the Immortal Sword Sect, we can only comply. However, Tang Zhennan's words paused for a moment, and the elder hesitated and spoke, the requirements of the Immortal Sword Sect are a bit excessive. Since the establishment of the family has developed for more than 300 years, and there are only nearly 300 members of the Qi practicing clan in the family. The foundation building clan is the responsibility of each person. I'm worried. There was a hint of helplessness and concern in his words, clearly hesitant about this mission. However, as the chiefs and elders of the Tang family, they must obey the orders of the Immortal Sword Sect, although this command is somewhat unacceptable to them. Who would let the strength of the Immortal Sword Sect directly surpass the total strength of their 3 clans? Number 34, don't worry, some members of the tribe have been living too comfortably in recent years, and it is inevitable that they have become a bit lazy. This time, resisting monsters is also a challenge for them. Number 34, the clan chief interrupted the elder's words. The clan leader spoke up, but the others dared not refute him. After all, the clan leader is the head of the family and has absolute authority within the clan. Number 34, let's expose this matter now. 10 days later, we will integrate the selected clan members and depart from Tianchong City. This matter cannot be delayed. Number 34, the clan chief said in a low voice. Number 34, yes. Number 34, everyone responded in unison. Clan chief, I'm going. Tang Tianyu suddenly stood up and said. Upon hearing Tang Tianyu's words, everyone turned their gaze to him, obviously not expecting Tang Tianyu to take the initiative to raise the issue. Chapter 2. Mysterious Narcissus Jew. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 3. Understanding the True Drip of Martial Arts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. From outside the illusion, Tang Tianqieze seemed to be enveloped by a powerful water spiritual energy, his entire body trembling slightly, as if a force was constantly attacking his body, constantly expelling impurities from his body. On the other hand, Tang Tianyu was in a very strange state at this moment, as if he was tightly wrapped in a soft cotton ball, with his whole body squeezed together and sore all over. It's so uncomfortable. Tang Tianyu frowned, and the illusion was filled with water rushing against his body. The painful feeling was 10,000 times more painful than being truly hit by the water. Tang Tianqieze is not much better either. He feels like he is in an invisible vortex, pulling his whole body apart. Tianjie's condition seems to be pretty good, but it's just that Tianyu's condition is the first time I've seen him. The clan leader couldn't help but be secretly surprised when he saw Tang Tianyu's appearance at this moment. Time passes by minute by second, and 2 hours are fleeting. During this period, Tang Tianyu and Tang Tianqieze remained in the same position, not so much to comprehend the true essence of the martial arts in the illusion, but rather to be trapped in the illusion, and the two gradually became different in the illusion. In Tang Tianjie's eyes, the water flow became increasingly violent, as if a giant beast swallowing the sky was roaring. Is this the legendary Kuan? Tang Tianqieze suddenly thought of a legend in his mind. In legend, in ancient times, a powerful Kuan flew in the starry sky, soaring in the void, heaven and earth, and the ocean. Every time it swallowed, it would stir up a vast and majestic pressure. Wherever it passed, mountains and rivers collapsed, the sky and earth split, and even space collapsed inch by inch. No. This is an illusion. Tang Tianqieze suddenly opened his eyes, with a hint of determination flashing in them. In the illusion, Tang Tianqieze looked at the roaring Kuan. He knew that he had to face the giant beast directly, otherwise he would not have understood the true meaning. Once he feared it and nurtured a demon, could there be further possibilities for his future immortal journey? Roar! A terrifying roar echoed through the heavens and earth, as the water-flowing Kuntian beast descended from the sky and rushed towards Tang Tianqieze. Roaming, with a loud bang, Tang Tianqieze felt as if he had collided with a towering peak, and his whole body merged fiercely into this giant beast. At that moment, Tang Tianqieze felt as if he had fallen into a huge lake, with all his limbs and bones, every pore, every cell, and every strand of blood boiling, absorbing, and constantly absorbing. Endless energy rushed crazily into Tang Tianjie's body, making his strength and momentum stronger and stronger, as if he were an ancient ferocious beast about to awaken, emitting an extremely terrifying aura. Ah! A roar erupted from Tang Tianjie's mouth, and his clothes exploded, revealing his sturdy muscles. The bulging veins showed Tang Tianjie's strength. At the same time, deep blue fine lines emerged from him, converging like totems into the shape of a Kuntian giant beast. Roar! A deafening roar echoed throughout the entire Moon Island. The loud noise echoed like thunder, causing the spiritual beasts tamed by the Tang family to fall to the ground and tremble. At the same time, this loud noise also caught the attention of countless ethnic people on the island, rushing towards this side. When they saw what was happening on the island, everyone widened their eyes filled with shock. Tang Family Hall. The clan elders stood with solemn expressions, their eyes scanning the surroundings, looking at the surprised faces one after another, and most of them were also quite puzzled in their hearts. What's going on? Zhu Lao, what did we hear just now? It seems like. Number 34, don't talk nonsense. With our ancestors in charge, there's no reason for you to think nonsense. Number 34, the tribal elder slapped the table. But. No, but, said another tribal elder in a deep voice, you heard me wrong, maybe it's just a breeze number 34, however, this loud noise clearly came from the depths of the tribe's territory. Could it be that some demon beasts have intruded into the island, someone said reluctantly. Monsters. Don't talk nonsense, how can there be monsters on the island? The clan elders shouted one after another. At this moment, a phantom figure slowly emerged from the front seat of the clan hall. After seeing the phantom clearly, a group of clan elders and members knelt down with great joy on their faces. Farewell to immortal eternal ancestor. Void Shadow glanced at them without saying a word, just waved his sleeve and robe, and a powerful spiritual energy emanated from him. The clan elders and members kneeling on the ground below suddenly felt a tremor all over their bodies, as if they were lifted up by an invisible force and slowly stood up. Thank you very much, Ancestor Xianheng. You don't need to pay attention to this matter, just remember that it's good for us. The indifferent voice of Xianheng Ancestor rang out and then disappeared. Farewell to immortal Ancestor Heng. The elders of the clan respectfully expressed their gratitude. What are you still doing around here? Are you doing nothing? Silla boy, take them down and select the tribe members who will go to Tianchong City in 10 days. One of the tribe elders ordered. Yes, replied the tribe member named Tang Silla. Backyard. Is this? The clan chief looked at Tianqieze, his heart filled with shock. Behind Tianqieze, a virtual shadow of a Kuntian giant beast appeared, rippling one after another, making the surrounding scenery even more beautiful, as if entering a fairyland. Is this? Is this? The clan chief looked at the phantom of the Kuntian giant beast that appeared behind Tianqieze, and he was stunned in place. That's right, the legendary Kuan. At some point, Immortal Heng stood next to the clan chief with a faint smile on his face. Kuan. The legendary monster. The clan leader stared at Tianqieze with disbelief and murmured, I didn't expect he really understood. Xinzun, our decision was not wrong this time, said Immortal Heng with a smile. As the two of them were talking, Tianqieze slowly opened his eyes flickering with brilliance. The phantom of the Kuntian giant beast behind him slowly disappeared, and everything returned to calm. How do you feel, asked Immortal Heng. Farewell to the ancestor. Tianqieze quickly bowed respectfully. Don't be so restrained, get up. Your creativity is great, and in time, you may surpass us. Immortal Heng patted Tianqiez's shoulder and said with satisfaction. Thank you for your praise, the younger generation will definitely work hard to cultivate, Tianqieze said with a serious expression. At this moment, Tianqieze had regained his clarity and was secretly amazed. He thought that this time he would only appreciate the shortcomings in his previous cultivation methods, but he didn't expect to be able to comprehend the true essence of Kuan. Chapter 4. True Inheritance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey, where's Xiaojiu? He's still in the illusion. Tianqieze suddenly noticed Tianqianye, who was still curled up. Ancestor, it seems that Xiaoyuzi's condition is not quite right. Xinzun clan chief worried, moreover, ordinary clan members who understand the truth are quite active, but Xiaoyuzi is actually very quiet. Don't worry too much. If there is a danger to his life, I will interrupt his state. Immortal Heng nodded, with a hint of seriousness in his eyes. Who are you? At this moment, Tianqianye in the illusion stood on the vast sea like a mirror, looking at the blurry and illusory male robe and shadow, feeling inexplicably wonderful in his heart. The phantom of this male robe gives people a deep sense of vicissitudes, as if one can see through the heart of this phantom at a glance. The phantom of the male robe had no response, like a sculpture standing on the sea. Although Tianqianye knew it was an illusion, he didn't dare to move for some reason. For a long time, the void shadow spoke up and said, I didn't expect. It's really surprising that my clan brother could comprehend the true power of that Kuntian giant beast in the Tianshui mirror. The male robe, void shadow, smiled. Senior, what kind of existence are you? Tang Tianyu remained silent for a while before finally speaking up. Don't be afraid, why don't you sit down and chat with me for a while longer? I just haven't talked to anyone for a long time. The male-robed phantom chuckled and said, I'm just a phantom. I don't have any substantive meaning, so I don't need to take it too seriously. Upon hearing the words of the male-robed phantom, Tang Tianyu breathed a sigh of relief in his heart. Since the other party is a phantom, there's nothing to worry about. If they really want to kill him, they would have already killed him at the moment they entered the illusion. Number 34, since the senior has no ill intentions, then the junior dares to ask for some advice. Number 34, Tang Tianyu sat in the seawater, looking at the phantom in front of him, and asked. Number 34, Hehe, feel free to ask if you have any questions, but the time here is different from outside, so you'd better hurry up. Number 34, the man in the robe smiled with a faint shadow. Tang Tianyu nodded and then said, Senior, are you dead or alive? Number 34, upon hearing this question, a hint of bitterness appeared on the face of the man in the robe. He shook his head and said, I am already dead. Number 34, although Tang Tianyu originally had the idea of seeking verification, he was also shocked to hear this senior admit it. After all, he could feel that the other party must be an unparalleled strong person that cannot be seen in Tianqieze. It is truly unbelievable that such a strong person should have fallen here. Number 34, the senior said that this illusion is the heavenly water realm, but shouldn't this illusion be the place where my Tang family comprehends the true essence of the Tianshui immortal technique? Number 34, Tang Tianyu frowned and asked, with a hint of speculation in his heart, but he couldn't be certain. Number 34, not bad, what you have comprehended is indeed the Tianshui immortal technique, but it is not either. Number 34, the man's robe is empty, said the shadow, in my place, this cultivation method is not called this name, and it was originally created by me. The path that you Tang family members have taken is also the path I have walked before. Number 34, what? Number 34, upon hearing these words, Tang Tianyu's heart trembled suddenly, and a strong look of shock appeared on his face, as he looked at the phantom of the man's robe in disbelief. Tang Tianyu never expected that the martial arts he had comprehended were actually created by the other party. Number 34, Senior, I'm a bit puzzled. This Tianshui immortal technique was created by a senior, how could it be? How could? Number 34, Tang Tianyu couldn't speak for a moment. The Tianshui realm is already my treasure. Back then, I had a great battle with an imperial blood Kuntian giant beast from the demon tribe. As expected, I also caused the formation of your meteorite shower on this day, said the male robe's void shadow calmly. After hearing this sentence, Tang Tianyu's head went blank with a bang, unable to believe his ears. This male-robed phantom is actually an existence that has fought against the Kuntian giant beast. Number 34, did you hit the meteorite on this day? Aren't you? Isn't it? Number 34, Tang Tianyu swallowed a mouthful of saliva and stuttered. Number 34, not bad, I am what you call a fairy. Number 34, the man in the robe said with a faint shadow. Number 34, Immortals. Number 34, Tang Tianyu's heart began to beat violently, and he involuntarily knelt on the ground. He kowtowed 3 times to the phantom of the man's robe and said, Tang Tianyu, a junior of the human race, see Senior. Number 34, get up, I'm just a remnant soul, you don't need to be polite. Number 34, the man in the robe smiled with a faint shadow. You are destined to be with me, but you have also inherited my cause and effect, along with your family. Nanpao Shuiying looked at Tang Tianyu and said calmly, the fate of your family is entirely in your hands. Number 34, what does this mean? Number 34, Tang Tianyu couldn't understand. Number 34, little friend, do you remember when I said your clan brother understood the power of the Kuntian giant beast? Number 34, the man in the robe asked the phantom. Number 34, remember, younger generation. Number 34, Tang Tianyu nodded. Number 34, Kuntian giant beast is a very powerful race in the demon tribe. Your clan brother has understood its power in the Tianshui mirror, and the relationship between your Tang family and the Kunpeng clan will change as a result. Number 34, the male robes phantom continued, because your clan brother is equivalent to stealing the power of the Kuntian giant beast. If the Kuntian giant beast clan finds out about this, they may send strong men to attack your Tang family. Number 34. Number 34, what? Number 34, Tang Tianyu's body trembled suddenly, and his face became extremely ugly. He didn't expect the Kuntian giant to be so terrifying. If the other party really came to Tianqieze, it would be a nightmare for the entire Tianqieze. But you don't have to worry. The male robe's phantom seems to have seen through Tang Tianyu's thoughts. Although the Kuntian giant beast is powerful, it cannot reach the level of invincibility. Moreover, the Tianqieze can be considered a territory of the human race's immortal path, and even if it is powerful, it cannot act wild within the human race's sphere of influence. Number 34, thank you for your guidance, Senior. Number 34, Tang Tianyu's mind trembled slightly as he bowed to the man's robe and shadow. Number 34, little friend, it seems that you can't stay here anymore. If you stay any longer, your clan members won't be able to wait anymore, and my shadow is about to dissipate. Little friend, let's leave quickly. Number 34, the phantom of the man's robe slowly spoke up. Upon hearing these words, Tang Tianyu's heart sank slightly, knowing that this senior of the human race was about to completely dissipate in this world. Little friend. At this moment, the voice of the male robe's phantom came again, you have a divine connection with me, and your family has inherited my cause and effect. The remaining incomplete knowledge of my virtual shadow and this incomplete Tianshui realm are entrusted to you. Number 34, Senior, you. Number 34, Tang Tianyu was taken aback, not expecting that the other party would be willing to give him such a precious thing. Number 34, don't think too much, little friend. Number 34, the phantom of the man's robe interrupted Tang Tianyu's words and said, I left this phantom, actually hoping that those who will inherit it in the future can suppress the Kuntian giant beast. My human race is always stronger than them, so this incomplete Tianshui realm is sent to you. Number 34, upon hearing these words, a surge of gratitude surged in Tang Tianyu's heart. The other party was willing to dedicate everything to Tang Tianyu, and this kindness was undoubtedly too great. Number 34, let's go. After speaking, the phantom completely dissipated. Subsequently, the scene before Tang Tianyu changed. When I woke up, I found myself not in the quiet backyard. Is this my room? Chapter 5. Tianshui Mirror. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at the layout of the room, Tang Tianyu immediately understood that this was his residence. At this moment, Xianheng ancestor, clan leader, Grandpa Xinzun, and Tianqieze were all gathered here. Before Tang Tianyu could speak, everyone quickly asked, Tianyu, are you okay? Number 34, upon hearing this, Tang Tianyu's heart warmed and he shook his head, saying, it's okay. Number 34, is it really okay? Number 34, the crowd still asked with unease. Xinzun, go to the meritorious pavilion and give Tianyu a gathering chi pill and a quenching body pill, said Immortal Heng to Tang Xinzun beside him. Number 34, yes, ancestor. Number 34, Tang Xinzun respectfully replied. After Tang Xinzun left the room, Immortal Heng grabbed Tang Tianyu's hand and felt it carefully. After confirming that there was no abnormality in Tang Tianyu's body, he breathed a sigh of relief. The divine soul is not damaged, there is no possibility of being taken away. Number 34, Xiaojiu, have you understood the true meaning? Tang Tianqieze beside couldn't help but ask. Number 34, Number 34, Tang Tianyu hesitated a bit, feeling that the conversation between him and the male-robed phantom in the Tianshui realm was too astonishing to be able to express for a moment. Number 34, Xiaojiu, are you keeping something from us? Number 34, seeing Tang Tianyu's expression, everyone immediately understood that there must be some secret that Tang Tianyu had not told them, and couldn't help but ask. Tang Tianyu finally sighed and asked in response, is the true essence of the mysterious Narcissus technique that Big Brother comprehends a Kuntian giant beast? Upon hearing Tang Tianyu's words, Xianheng Laozu and others were first taken aback, and then their faces changed greatly. Xiao Jiu, how could you know that you have been in a coma all along? Tianqieze asked in surprise. Number 34, I also saw it in my dream, little brother. The Kuntian giant beast was extremely terrifying. When I first saw it, I was also scared. However, later on, when the scene in the illusion changed, I met a senior number 34, Tang Tianyu recounted his experiences in the illusion in detail. Of course, the incomplete Tianshui realm and the massive amount of knowledge stored in Tang Tianyu's mind were not shared with everyone. Instead, they explained the opportunities, causes, and interests that Tianjie had endured, so that everyone could be mentally prepared. After listening to Tang Tianyu's description, the eyes of Immortal Heng and the clan chief became extremely complex. Who would have thought that a family with only the realm of cultivators would be related to a demon beast race with immortal power? The soldiers will stop us. If one day in the future, our family will collide with the legendary demon family, we can only face it. The patriarch took the lead to break the heavy topic. The immortal is too far away from us, and it's useless to think about it. Let's deal with the current situation. The candidate to go to Tianchong City has been determined. Tianyu, Tianjie, you should also go tomorrow. The clan leader spoke again. Number 34, go tomorrow, isn't it 10 days later? Number 34, Tang Tianyu was taken aback. Xiaojiu, you've been unconscious for 9 days, Tang Tianjie reminded. Tang Tianyu couldn't help but be surprised, he had never realized that time had passed so long. The significant difference in time flow velocity between the Tianshui mirror and the outside world made Tang Tianyu feel somewhat incredulous. This matter will rot in our stomachs for now. After the Tianchong City incident is over, I will consider whether to sue the people. The words of Immortal Heng ancestor made Tang Tianyu and Tang Tianjie feel a bit helpless, and they also understood that this secret cannot be easily leaked. Xiaojiu, please rest well first. The things that need to be prepared are ready today, and tomorrow you will gather outside the clan hall on time. Tang Tianjie ordered before leaving. Not long after the departure of our ancestors, clan leaders, and elder brothers, the surrounding area returned to tranquility. Tang Tianyu opened the storage bag and took out a first-order formation compass. He carefully examined the compass, with a hint of satisfaction in his eyes. This compass was purchased by him 2 years ago with a founding clan uncle from an array mage in Tianchong City. It is expensive, but it is his most valuable item besides the Tianshui mirror. The formation compass is engraved with complex patterns and is a defensive formation. Its maximum defensive ability can withstand a full strike from an early foundation builder. Of course, after one strike, the formation compass reaches its limit. The characteristic of this formation compass is that it can deceive any qi refining cultivator's divine perception below the foundation. After activating the formation, Tang Tianyu calmed down and began to absorb the massive knowledge taught by the immortal. A massive amount of knowledge flooded into Tang Tianyu's mind, like a tide, overwhelming him. Tang Tianyu felt dizzy and powerless, as if about to be squeezed out. Time is slowly passing by. The Eastern Immortal Court, the Western Divine Realm, and the top 10 golden race of the Demon Clan. Countless images came to Tang Tianyu's mind, all of which were the memories of the immortal, but the memories were intermittent and very fragmented. Tang Tianyu forcibly suppressed these scenes and began to absorb the knowledge left by this immortal. Number 34, the things left by the immortal are really mysterious, much faster than my own cultivation. All the shortcomings of my previous cultivation have been made up for at this moment, and now I have a clear understanding of the later realm, as if there is no bottleneck in reaching the cultivation realm. Number 34, Tang Tianyu couldn't conceal his excitement. Tang Tianyu kept searching for everything about the mysterious Narcissus technique, but it seemed that because the immortal was already incomplete, there was not much content about the mysterious Narcissus technique. However, even so, Tang Tianyu still learned a lot from this cultivation technique. According to the Xianshui Xianju included in the family in previous years, the highest level of cultivation could only reach the peak of the cultivation realm. However, now that Tang Tianyu has absorbed knowledge, he has deduced the cultivation technique to the earth realm. What does this mean? The future pattern of Tianqieze seems to have begun to change. In the past, the Xinzun sect was able to occupy half of the territory in Tianqieze and become the leader of the three tribes because of its cultivation techniques that directly reached the earth realm. However, now, the advantages of the Xinzun sect have disappeared. If used properly, the Tang family may even have the opportunity to surpass the Xinzun sect and become the leader of Tianqieze in the future. Thinking of this, Tang Tianyu became even more determined in his beliefs. After absorbing most of the knowledge, Tang Tianyu felt the incomplete but crystal clear Tianshui mirror. This mirror is deep blue all over, emitting a faint radiance. On its surface, there is a blurry character that Tang Tianyu cannot see clearly. However, upon seeing this character, an indescribable throb rises in his heart. It's very calm, like a pool of stagnant water, but this pool of stagnant water contains the power of stormy waves, making people tremble with fear. Tang Tianyu's heartbeat suddenly became rapid, and each beat seemed to constantly hit his chest, almost suffocating him. The power of this Tianshui mirror was definitely far beyond his imagination. If he could control its parts, he believed that even if he met a cultivator during the foundation period, he would have the power to fight. Tang Tianyu's hands were sealed, and a surge of spiritual power poured into the Tianshui mirror. Buzz. Chapter 6. People from the Immortal Sword Sect. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It is amazing that Tang Tianyu, who was originally the treasure of immortals, did not find it difficult to refine it. Tang Tianyu felt that he had a certain connection with Tianshui mirror, which was like a small boat, and he was the helmsman. Perhaps it's because this precious treasure is already incomplete. Tang Tianyu pondered to himself. Soon, the Tianshui mirror was refined by Tang Tianyu. Tang Tianyu was shocked to find that he could vaguely hear his own voice in the Tianshui mirror. Moreover, there were scenes of someone practicing swordsmanship and meditating on it one after another. Unbelievable, isn't this scene just the scene on Moon Island? Tang Tianyu couldn't help but let out a cry of surprise, but he could also see from the picture on the Tianshui mirror that the picture on the Tianshui mirror could actually reflect the image of the tribe. What concept is this? Isn't it that he can always know what Tang family disciples are doing? Tang Tianyu was deeply shocked in his heart. He felt that his cultivation had been further improved. He knew that all of this was the function of this Tianshui mirror. Tang Tianyu was extremely excited in his heart. Undoubtedly, it is the treasure of immortals, and indeed it is against the heavens. Tang Tianyu looked back at the scene in the mirror and saw the clan leader who had just returned to the clan hall, as well as Tianqieze, who had just stepped into his own door, and Grandpa Xinzun, who was rushing back from the merit pavilion. All of these were familiar scenes, and they were busy with their own affairs. And they didn't know they were being monitored. However, Tang Tianyu doesn't have time to study this Tianshui mirror anymore. Tang Xinzun has already rushed back from the merit pavilion. The Tianshui mirror is too important to let others know, even his own grandfather know. Once this matter spreads, it will definitely cause a huge uproar, and even lead to the downfall of the family. This is definitely not something Tang Tianyu wants to see. Tang Tianyu quickly put the Tianshui mirror into the storage bag, but found that the storage bag could not hold the Tianshui mirror at all. After refining, ordinary storage bags can no longer hold such treasures. Tang Tianyu frowned. Tang Tianyu tried again to take out a storage ring, hoping to see if it could be loaded, but still failed. Now Tang Tianyu was completely flustered. You can't hold the Tianshui mirror in your hand, can you? Isn't this telling the world that he has a precious treasure in his hand? Tang Tianyu was as anxious as ants on a hot pot, and at the same time, the Tianshui mirror shook slightly, emitting a sound. Dida, the soft sound seemed to be responding to Tang Tianyu. Upon seeing this, Tang Tianyu quickly grabbed the Tianshui mirror and saw it instantly merge into Tang Tianyu's body, merging with him and disappearing. Tang Tianyu felt like there was something more in his sea of consciousness. Without much time to think, Tang Jinnan's voice came from outside the house. Number 34, Tianyu, how was your rest? Number 34, Tang Tianyu opened the door and happened to see Tang Jinnan walking in. Number 34, Grandpa, what's wrong? Number 34, Tang Tianyu asked. Number 34, these are 2 bottles of gathering qi pills and 2 bottles of quenching body pills. Tomorrow, you will be going to Tianchong City. It is not a tribal area, so be careful in everything. Although your strength has improved rapidly, you should also pay more attention to safety. Number 34, Tang Jinnan said and handed 4 medicine bottles to Tang Tianyu. A perfect pill, which cannot be exchanged in the family's merit pavilion. Take this with you, it's something your father left for you, Tang Jinnan said, handing over a storage ring to Tang Tianyu. Tang Tianyu took the storage ring and suddenly felt a hint of enlightenment in his heart. Blue Scale Dragon Armor. Second level intermediate spiritual weapon. Tang Tianyu looked at the set of blue armor in the storage ring and his heart trembled. He had seen this armor before, which was worn by his father. Tang Tianyu looked at the armor in the storage ring and felt the cold and murderous aura emanating from it, his heart burning with anger. This is the armor his father wore. In Tang Tianyu's memory, when he was very young, for some reason, his parents had some conflicts with the Immortal Sword Sect, leading to his disappearance. For this reason, the family had a direct conflict with the Xinzun sect at that time. In the end, the Xinzun sect knew it was wrong, and one of the supreme masters of the Seed Realm reached a certain agreement with their own Xianheng ancestor, which compensated the family with a considerable amount of resources. In the end, it was not resolved. Once, Tang Jinnan repeatedly asked Immortal Heng for the truth, but Immortal Heng remained silent, which angered Tang Jinnan. This set of blue armor became Tang Jinnan's last thought for his son. Number 34, in the future, we will establish the Immortal Sword Sect and search for the truth about our missing parents. Number 34, Tang Tianyu clenched his fist and secretly decided in his heart. Tianyu, you have put away the scales and armor. The primary task for you to go to Tianchong City this time is to ensure your own safety. Those who have been summoned by the clan in the city say that there are more and more monsters in the inner sea, so be careful. Tang Jinnan advised. Tang Tianyu nodded. At this moment, a loud noise suddenly came from outside the door. What happened? Why is it so noisy? Tang Jinnan walked out of the house and asked, looking at the noise outside. Number 34, there seems to be a situation on the other side of Tianchong City. Someone from the Immortal Sword Sect has come to the clan territory. Now they are discussing something with the clan chief and elders in the clan hall. Number 34, a member of the tribe reported. Tang Jinnan frowned slightly and said, it seems that there has been a big event in Tianchong City that neither you nor I know about. Number 34, after speaking, Tang Jinnan hurriedly left. Tang Tianyu looked at his grandfather's back, feeling even more puzzled in his heart. How did the people of the Xinzun sect come to their ancestral land? Let's just use the Tianshui mirror to reflect it directly. Tang Tianyu's mind moved and the Tianshui mirror appeared in his hand. I saw the Tianshui mirror slowly rotating, capturing everything around the Moon Island in my eyes. I could even clearly see the appearance of my tribe and their location. The scene shrinks into the hall of the tribe, with a young man in white standing in the center. That's the master of the third sequence of the Immortal Sword Sect, Yunxiao. Tang Tianyu muttered to himself, feeling a chill in his heart. And behind the clouds, all 10 people are members of the Immortal Sword Sect, and each person's cultivation has reached the foundation building period. The Immortal Sword Sect seems to be using its power to overpower others. Within the clan hall, are all the people of the Immortal Sword Sect so arrogant? Even the 11 foundation building cultivators dare to be so reckless and not take my Tang family seriously. Tang Xinzun, the head of the clan, snorted coldly. Don't misunderstand, Tang clan leader. We were just ordered by Emperor Jiang to escort the aristocratic clan members to the heavenly meteor city for their mission. One of the foundation-building cultivators of the Immortal Sword Sect arched his hand and said. Chief Tang Xinzun sneered and said, Jiang Yunqing actually sent you to escort him. Do you think my Tang family is a decoration number 34, the name of the Supreme Court is something you can casually say? The person let out a cold shout, his momentum suddenly changing. Your Immortal Sword Sect really has no one in our Tang family. Tang Xinqing's words had just finished, and 19 Tang family foundation building cultivators inside and outside the clan hall erupted into a strong momentum, covering the entire clan hall. With a cold expression on his face in the clouds, he said in a deep voice, the 10-day period is approaching, and we are only following orders. Tang clan leader, do not mistake yourself. We are following the orders of the Supreme Elder number 34, in the tone of the clouds, there was a hint of disdain, as if telling Tang Xinzun and others that they were following the orders of the Supreme Elder. No matter how strong you are, it will be of no use. Number 34, today is only the 9th day. Your Immortal Sword Sect is so eager to send you to escort our Tang family members. It's obvious that you have no good intentions. Number 34, Tang Xinzun, the chief of the clan, said in a deep voice. Number 34, it will take a day to rush to Tianchong city. If it weren't for the order of the Supreme Elder, we would have set off long ago. Number 34, another foundation-building cultivator of the Immortal Sword Sect said. Yun Xiao snorted coldly. Number 34, the war in Tianchong city is urgent, and if delayed, it may cause even more serious consequences. Isn't Tang clan leader willing to contribute to Tianchong city? Number 34, Yun Xiao's words sounded grand, but they were a threatening statement. Tang Xinzun, the head of the clan, held a wave of anger in his heart, but the other party was actually a disciple passed down by the elder of the Immortal Sword Sect and dared not attack. Number 34, since that's the case, please trouble brother Yun Xiao. Number 34, Tang Xinzun, the chief of the clan, said in a deep voice. Number 34, please. Number 34, Yun Xiao sneered, made a gesture of invitation, and then walked ahead of the door of the Imperial Clan Hall. The people of the Xinzun sect are very arrogant, ignoring the members of the Tang family and actively waiting in the martial arts arena within the clan. Number 34, clan leader, they are so arrogant. Number 34, a Tang family foundation building cultivator angrily said. This matter will be temporarily suppressed in advance, and the members of the founding tribe who will go to Tianchong city will be replaced by Xinzun and Xinu. Tang Zhennan pondered for a moment and ordered. Number 34, yes. Number 34, everyone responded in unison. Chapter 7. Xinzun, New Moon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tang family, performing martial arts. Senior brother Yun Xiao, these Tang family members are just like that. In the martial arts arena, the waiting Immortal Sword Sect among the cultivators, someone whispered in a low voice. Yun Xiao gave a faint smile and said, Number 34, one day, the Tang family will be annexed by our Immortal Sword Sect. Number 34, not bad. 34, Number 34, when the time comes, we will conquer the Tang family and lead them up and down, leaving no room for chickens or dogs. Number 34, Number 34, listening to everyone's words, a sinister smile appeared on Yun Xiao's face. Boom. Number 34, click. Number 34, suddenly, a stone tablet in the center of the martial arts arena shattered and turned into scattered rubble, dancing around. At the same time, a wine gourd exploded and approached the members of the Immortal Sword Sect. The clouds were startled, and they slapped the flying wine gourd with one palm. Number 34, bang. Number 34, Yun Xiao felt a huge force coming from the wine gourd, shaking him back a few steps. The sky's complexion slightly changed, and his heart was filled with fear. How could there be such a terrifying attack hidden in just one wine gourd? Number 34, who is it? Number 34, with a roar from the sky, my breath suddenly erupted and I looked around the martial arts arena. Many members of the Tang family saw this scene with a look of shock on their faces. They knew the strength of Yun Xiao, who was a genuine foundation-building cultivator and also a renowned Tianqieze of the Immortal Sword Sect. At this moment, they were unexpectedly shaken back by a wine gourd. Number 34, shoe number 34, another stream of light flew in, and a woman was surrounded by water vapor, like a celestial being descending into the martial arts arena. Number 34, Tianqieze. Number 34, when the members of the Immortal Sword Sect saw the woman, their faces changed slightly. Of course, everyone in the Tang family also knows this woman, who is the only outstanding extraordinary woman among their new generation. Tang Xinzun coldly scanned a circle of the members of the Immortal Sword Sect and said in a cold voice, Yun Xiao, have you all taken the etiquette of your Immortal Sword Sect and fed it to the dog? Number 34, as soon as Tang Xinzun spoke, all the cultivators of the Immortal Sword Sect looked cold. Haha, why bother talking to these scum girls? Before the Immortal Sword Sect and others could speak, a man in a blue shirt with a wine gourd and a slightly red face walked in from outside the martial arts arena. Yun Xiao looked at the man in the blue shirt carrying a wine gourd, his face changed, and he exclaimed in surprise, Tang Xinzun. Number 34, the newcomer is undoubtedly the first person in the new generation of the Tang family, and his strength ranks among the top in the entire Tianqieze Tianjiao. Although Tang Xinzun was drunk, his eyes were still bright, indicating that he was not a drunken person. Yun Xiao, your strength is not much higher than 10 years ago. It seems that your reputation as the third sequence of the Immortal Sword Sect is not guaranteed. Tang Xinzun sneered and handed the wine gourd to a disciple beside him. Number 34, Tang Xinzun, don't go too far. Number 34, the cloud gritted its teeth and said. Tang Xinzun chuckled lightly, is it you who went too far? You really thought I didn't hear what you said just now? Yin Xiao's face looked ugly, but it was difficult to refute. Number 34, is it okay for brother Yun Xiao and everyone to go to Tianchong City with my New Moon clan sister and the clan members this time? Number 34, Tang Xinzun smiled and asked as he looked at the members of the Immortal Sword Sect. Yin Xiao's face was uncertain, and he knew Tang Xinzun's strength. He could only grit his teeth and say, since that's the case, please hurry up and let you board the flying boat of our Immortal Sword Sect, don't delay any time. Number 34, that's not possible, I have another request. Number 34, Tang Xinzun shook his head. Number 34, Tang Xinzun, what the hell are you doing? Number 34, the clouds echoed in a deep voice. Brother Yun Xiao, don't be angry. My Tang family only boarded my own flying boat. I'm not worried about yours, Tang Xinzun said with a smile. Pushi, Tang Xinzun beside him immediately covered his mouth and smiled, his eyes curved like two curved moons. Seeing this scene, Yin Xiao's face became even more gloomy. Tang Xinzun understood very well, didn't he just want the members of the Immortal Sword Sect and the Tang family to squeeze together on a flying boat? And in this way, they become very passive. The members of the Immortal Sword Sect didn't look very good upon hearing this. Number 34, Senior Brother Yun Xiao, what should we do? Number 34, someone asked. The clouds fell silent for a moment, then looked up at Tang Xinzun and said in a deep voice, you Tang family can use your own flying boat, and our flying boat will lead the way for you. After speaking, he turned his head to look at the others and shouted coldly. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and pack up your things and board the boat. Number 34, yes. Humph, something that bullies the soft and fears the hard. Tang Xinzun cursed inwardly. Number 34, brother, let's also prepare quickly. Number 34, Tang Xinzun looked at the Tang family members who were already preparing to leave the martial arts arena. Upon hearing this, Tang Xinzun flipped his palm and a deep blue flying boat appeared in his palm. Many people of the tribe showed envy when they saw the flying boat. This flying boat is the only two flying boats in the family. This one belongs to the second-level intermediate spiritual weapon and is of great value. The entire flying boat is made of second-level spiritual treasures and some third-level spiritual treasures, with extremely strong defense and extremely fast flight speed. Its speed in the air is terrifying, and ordinary cultivators cannot catch up with it. The Tang family's flying boat can be considered a top-notch spiritual boat in the entire Tianqieze. After a stick of incense, in the martial arts arena the Tang family members heading to Tianqieze city are already fully equipped and ready to depart. Among the remaining 48 members of the Qi refining clan, most of them are new generation members. There are only a few members of the Tianzi generation, including Tianqieze and Tang Tianyu. It's no wonder that the entire Tianzi generation has only reached the late stage of Qi cultivation with just one palm. This inner sea monster riot is still a mystery, and those who do not reach the late stage of Qi cultivation will be completely killed on the front line. As for the number of clan members leading the team during the construction period, it has increased again. A group of 10 construction period cultivators, each of whom is an elite member of the Tang family. Tang Xinzun and Tang Xinyue stood at the forefront of the team. Two people, one on the left and one on the right, one in a blue shirt and one in a blue skirt, caught everyone's attention. There are too many unknowns on this trip to Tianchong city. Not to mention Qi cultivators and foundation building cultivators, even a slight mistake can lead to death. Don't be too dispersed when you arrive at Tianchong city, so as not to encounter danger. Otherwise, we are powerless. Tang Xinzun glanced at the members of the Tang family and said in a deep voice. Number 34, yes, number 34, everyone responded in unison. Tang Xinzun nodded and then waved his hand, saying, Number 34, let's go number 34, number 34, wow number 34, with his command, the Tang family's flying boat slowly took off, and then, one in front of and one behind the flying boat of the Immortal Sword Sect, sailed towards the direction of the heavenly meteor city. Tianchongcheng is not located in the center of Tianchong's, but it is indeed the busiest area of Tianchong's. The entire city is circular and covers an area of thousands of miles. The city wall has gone through vicissitudes of time, like ancient copper casting, reaching hundreds of zhang high and more than 10 li wide. At the city gate, there are no soldiers to defend, but two tall stone lions are guarding the gate. The stone lion carving is lifelike, with two beams of light shooting from its eyes directly at the city tower. The interior of Tianchong city is extremely bustling, with no ordinary people in the city, only cultivators. On both sides of the street, there are various shops and vendors everywhere. Chapter 8. Tianchongcheng. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. On this day, the shops of one clan, 3 clans, accounted for the largest profit in the meteorite city, and their profits were astonishingly high. Among them, the Tang family focuses on selling elixirs and spiritual medicines. The Tang family's alchemy is different from that of ordinary people. Most ordinary people use earth fire to refine their pills, but the Tang family's alchemy is based on water method. Compared with the pills made by fire method, although the efficacy of water method pills is slightly inferior, the poison of the pills after completion can be almost negligible. Moreover, the quantity of pills produced each time is stable. As long as the price is slightly reduced, it can attract countless scattered cultivators to purchase, and the business can be said to be booming. So, the people of the Tang family who refine elixirs can almost be described as profiteering. As for the other 2 tribes, they are not weak compared to the Tang family, each with a family specializing in their craft. The busiest place in Tianchong city now is the south gate facing the inner sea. The inner sea monster riot has been ongoing for nearly 10 days, with monsters constantly surging ashore from the depths of the inner sea and wreaking havoc outside the city. Many human cultivators have suffered heavy casualties. Have they not arrived yet in the clouds? A cultivator from the Immortal Sword Sect stood at the southern gate, looking into the distance with a serious expression on his face. Counting the days, within half a day, senior brother Yunxiao and the others will arrive, replied a female cultivator from the Immortal Sword Sect. During these days, it has been rumored that Tianchong city has been conquered by monsters in the inland area. Many scattered cultivators spare their lives to use Tianchong city's teleportation array to leave Tianchongze and escape to the 18 Zes in the South China Sea. The Immortal Sword Sect is no longer working, and you can still cultivate through scattered cultivation. Don't you also rely on the numerous resources of the heavenly meteor Zhe to this day? When Tianqieze is in trouble, he wants to run. What do you think of Tianqieze as a place? So, the Xinzun sect joined forces with the three major families of Tianqieze to launch a blockade on the teleportation array of Tianqieze city. It is said that many scattered cultivators wanted to break through the blockade and escape, but they were all killed in no time. At this time, a loft located within the jurisdiction of the Xinzun sect. I hereby report to the Supreme Emperor that the Zhao and Lin family's desperate efforts have all arrived, leaving only senior brother Yun Xiao and the Tang family. A young man dressed in a black robe bowed and said. Number 34, Number 34, an old voice rang out. Number 34, Your Highness, today a disciple sent a message that the number of demon beasts has increased compared to a few days ago. Our losses have also increased slightly compared to the previous 2 days. Number 34, the black-robed man hesitated for a moment and whispered. Number 34, this seat naturally knows. Number 34, a deep voice echoed from the corner of the attic, seeming to carry a hint of mockery. Since the Zhao and Lin families have arrived, let them stand up and instruct the disciples on the front line to retreat first to minimize the damage to the sect. Number 34, yes. Number 34, the black-robed man responded and then bowed out. Half a day later. Number 34, Number 34, 2 giant warships, one in front and one behind, flew over the sky of Tianchong city. Here we are. Tang Tianyu looked down at the huge city below. Xiaojiu, it was a few years ago that you last came to Tianchong city, right? Tang Tianjie asked with a smile. Number 34, a few years ago. Number 34, at this moment, another member of the Tianzi clan named Tang Tianyu said. In just a few years, my 9th brother's cultivation surpassed mine. Upon hearing her words, Tang Tianyu was taken aback, then awkwardly scratched his head and smiled, saying, Tianyu's sister's talent and strength are also excellent, not much worse than mine. Number 34, I heard that a monster that I haven't seen before jumped out of the inland sea this time. The brothers need to bring me something different. A young man in green beside him grinned and his eyes were bright. Number 34, Number 34, upon hearing his words, Tang Tianyu couldn't help but burst into laughter. You will have to wait for us to return triumphantly in the store that day. Number 34, no. That's necessary. Number 34, the young man in green clothes named Tang Tianming smiled and said, I have been looking forward to it for a long time. This inner sea monster riot will definitely double my business. I want to make a lot of money. Number 34, Tang Tianjie and Tang Tianyu looked at each other and smiled. Only a few of you can laugh out loud, said Tang Xinlua and Tang Xinlan as they walked step by step. As the two of them arrived, the other young people of the Tianzi generation and some members of the new generation quickly respectfully greeted them. I have seen 2 clan uncles and clan brothers. Number 34, Tang Siluo waved his hand, gesturing for everyone to be quiet. He turned his head and looked at the crowd. I won't say much about it. This incident is extraordinary. Remember not to be careless. Number 34, yes. Number 34, everyone responded in unison and nodded solemnly. After Tang Xinlua finished speaking, he looked around and immediately spoke up, now, come with me. Number 34, after speaking, take the lead and walk towards the city. Everyone followed closely behind. At the southern gate of Tianchong city, after several days of fighting, there were countless corpses piled up outside the city gate, with blood flowing in small streams and the ground stained red. Number 34, boom. Number 34, one tank after another drove out of the city gate, with a majestic soldier wearing a golden armor sitting on each tank. The cultivators in the city showed a fearful expression when they saw the arrival. It's the immortal soldier puppet of the Zhao family. Someone recognized that one of the tanks was loaded with an immortal soldier puppet. Each puppet has reached the strength of the foundation building period number 34, quick, get out of the way number 34, get out of the way. Don't block the way, otherwise there will be no mercy for killing number 34, roars of anger erupted from the mouths of the Zhao family, and teams of immortal soldiers and puppets rushed out of the city. Number 34, kill. The Zhao family shouted angrily, wielding their swords, and waves of wild spiritual energy spread out, instantly killing the monster blocking the way ahead. At the same time, there were constantly growing vines, whips, and various vines surging out of the city, constantly whipping the monsters, and one after another, the monsters fell. Number 34, the Lin family also took action. Number 34, someone shouted, their eyes flickering with excitement. I saw a series of earth-shattering collisions coming from the southeast, northwest, and northwest of Tianchong city. Countless vines, whips, and vines intertwined to form a big net, crazily strangling the monsters. One powerful monster was entangled by the vines, struggling. Inside the city, several powerful auras erupted, soaring into the sky and charging straight into the group of demon beasts, with Tang Xinzun also in the clouds. Look, those are the proud seeds of the three clans. Number 34, they actually took action. Number 34, a commotion broke out, and many cultivators in Tianchong city were excited. This internal sea monster riot caught the human race off guard and left them stuck at their doorstep for 10 days. Now, they have finally begun to push back on the battlefield. How can this not be uplifting? Many casual cultivators have also joined in, helping immortal soldiers and puppets clean up monsters and constantly harvesting their lives. Uncle Clan and the others are clearing the way, trying to block the monsters on the coast. Tang Tianyu glanced in the direction of Tianchong city and said to Tianqieze on both sides. Number 34, let's also take action, walk in groups, and clear the remaining monsters along the roadside. Number 34, Tianqieze smiled and said. Number 34, okay. Number 34, the two nodded at the same time. As the three of them spoke, a handsome young man dressed in black and wielding a Tang sword suddenly rushed out of a tank ahead. His eyes were red, and he exuded a murderous aura. With one strike, he smashed the surrounding monsters and continued to kill towards the front. Number 34, the Tang family. Do you know where Tang Xinzun and his companions went? Number 34, a cold voice sounded. Tang Tianyu frowned at the words, but before she could speak, the handsome young man in black with a knife turned his head and drove towards the coast at full speed. Tang Tianjie let out a slight sigh in his heart and shook his head as he watched the young man in black leave. Let's go, Tang Tianyu said lightly. A few people didn't stay much and followed the young man in black closely. Chapter 9. Half-Step Cultivation of Dao Realm Monsters. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 10. Bloodline Pressure. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. On the other side, the coastline situation is also not optimistic, there are also a large number of demon beasts surging from all over. On the coast, the strong builders of the Tang family's foundation turned green at this moment, because just now, they had decided to let Tang Xinlua and Tang Xinlan lead all the Qi practitioners into the sea. Number 34, it's over. Number 34, the strong builders of the Tang family mourned in their hearts, and now they are determined to die. Without much thought, a large number of monsters surged out of the inner sea. The formation set up by the three tribes was fully activated, forming a thick light curtain that enveloped the entire coastline and blocked the attacks of monsters. Push me to the brink of death. Whoever dares to take a step back, I will slay him first, shouted the foundation builder of the Immortal Sword Sect. Suddenly, the disciples of the Immortal Sword Sect mobilized their spiritual energy and planned to fight to the death to resist. Kill. Today, blood will surely flow into a river. The monsters roared and attacked wildly. For a moment, screams of killing and screams of agony were heard incessantly. The Tang family, who had just entered the sea, realized something was wrong. At this moment, they were all using the water avoidance technique to lurk in a shallow sea area. There are constantly monsters swimming under them. Something's going to happen on the coastline. Tang Tianyu sighed inwardly. Upon hearing these words, everyone in the Tang family's expression immediately became solemn. Tang Xinluo's face turned pale, and he had long anticipated that something would happen. Xinlan tribe girl, you take people away, I'll stay here to stop them. Tang Xinluo's face suddenly turned cold. Take everyone back. After speaking, he took the initiative to expose his own breath and welcomed a group of monsters. Tang Xinlan's pretty face flashed with a hint of worry and nodded. Let's withdraw. She let out a low shout and prepared to leave with the others. But at this moment, a sudden mutation occurred, and with a pop sound, several tentacles from somewhere pierced through the chests of several Tang family disciples. Following closely, the tentacles suddenly contracted and several corpses were dragged into the sea. Damn it! Tang Xinlan was furious, her delicate body soaring into the air, and she swung her palm, unleashing a terrifying aura. The tentacle was startled and immediately abandoned the few corpses, shooting backwards. Tang Xinlan's eyes were about to crack, and with a flip of her jade hand, she took out a second-order-long bow. She bent down to pull the strings, and an arrow was placed on the bow strings, aimed at the tentacles and let go. Shoo! The sound of breaking through the air resounded, the blue light flickered, and the arrows carried the power of the waves fiercely piercing towards the tentacles. Shit! The arrow instantly penetrated the tentacle and without diminishing its momentum, heading towards the distance and disappearing into the depths of the ocean. The tentacle twitched in pain and immediately plunged into the depths of the ocean. And Tang Xinlan fell behind. Let's go. Tang Xinlan said to the remaining disciples of the Tang family and immediately left here first. Shwa. At this moment, a huge shadow came from behind Tang Xinlan. It's everywhere. You run separately, you can walk one by one. Tang Xinlan turned around and turned pale, quickly saying. Whoosh whoosh. Tentacles extended from the sea and swept over the sky and earth. Each of these tentacles is at least as thick and thin as a bucket, completely pitch black, like ink. Follow me. Tang Tianyu thought to himself and held the Tianshui mirror, which reflected the scene of the sea and guided everyone. Without much thought, everyone quickly rushed towards the sea with Tang Tianyu. Along the way, due to the Tianshui mirror, Tang Tianyu and others avoided a large number of monsters. But there are still many demon beasts targeting the Tang family. We can only fight. This is the last path. If we win, we'll go back to the shore. If we lose, we'll die. Tang Tianyu's eyes lit up with anger. Everyone nodded, with a hint of madness in their eyes. The mysterious Narcissus technique reached its peak, and spiritual energy flooded in the surroundings. Tang Tianyu held the Tianshui mirror in his hand, and the seawater gradually became mastered. A vortex slowly emerged, and the seawater from the depths of the sea continued to gather towards it, eventually merging into the vortex. The vortex grew larger and deeper. Wow! Following closely, the seawater boiled violently, and many monsters were directly pulled into the vortex. Although the members of the Tang family were amazed by Tang Tianyu's methods, they didn't think too much and accelerated their speed to break through the encirclement. Roar! A roar of anger came from deep under the sea, followed closely by a giant tail that swung out and drew onto the vortex. Click! The vortex shattered and the sea churned. Puff! Tang Tianyu snorted lightly, and blood oozed from the corner of his mouth. Let's go. Tang Tianyu made a quick decision and immediately called on everyone to escape. Roar! The huge tail pulled out again, causing a huge wave to hit Tang Tianyu. Without time to react, Tang Tianyu was directly submerged by the wave and disappeared without a trace. Seeing Tang Tianyu being devoured, the faces of the Tang family changed greatly and they continued to flee desperately. However, the monster deep under the sea caught up. Not good, that monster is coming up. Tianqienze's face changed. He felt the massive aura of that monster, the monster during the foundation building period. Sure enough, the monster had already surfaced from the sea. It was 100 meters tall, covered in black scales, and its head was extremely sharp, emitting a faint yellow light. It has a huge mouth, sharp and cold mouthparts, and a foul smell permeates it. It is a huge octopus sea monster, and it is charging towards the Tang family with open teeth and claws, overturning the sky and the sea. Tianqieze shouted sharply. In an instant, waves of blue rippled out, transforming into thousands of giant palms and grabbing the monster. The monster felt pain and let out a roaring roar from the sky. Bang bang bang. When Bai Bo and his tentacles met, a deafening roar erupted. At the same time, Tianqieze let out a muffled groan and his face turned extremely pale, indicating that the blow was unclear about the injury. No way. My strength is too low, I can't hold on for long. Tianqienze's face was solemn. Suddenly, Tianqieze felt extremely hot and dry, and the spiritual energy in his body became uncontrollable and restless, as if it could rush out of his body at any moment. For some unknown reason, the Kuntian giant beast pattern on Tianqienze's body flickered with red light, as if he was about to break free from his constraints. Tianqieze could feel that it was angry, like a giant beast awakening in the wilderness. Since that's the case, let me use your anger. Tianqienze's face showed a ferocious expression. His cultivation, which was supposed to be perfect for qi cultivation, now soared at a speed visible to the naked eye. Rumble, in an instant, Tianqienze's momentum climbed step by step, reaching the peak of the early foundation construction. Everyone in the Tang family was stunned. What kind of cultivation is this? How could it suddenly become so powerful? What a powerful momentum. You go first. Tianqienze's eyes turned red and he shouted loudly. Big brother. Tang Tianyu's face darkened. Let's go. Don't talk nonsense. Tianqieze shouted angrily. Big brother, take care. Take care. The Tang family disciple gritted his teeth and said. They know that staying behind is meaningless, even a burden. Animal, suffer death. Tianqieze carried the phantom of the Kuntian giant beast on his back, riding the waves and rushing out in an instant to kill the giant octopus monster. Roar. The octopus monster roared and waved two huge tentacles, pulling towards Tianqieze. However, Tianqienze's speed was too fast, his body was like a ghost, and he instantly dodged the attack. The next second, he clenched his fist with his right hand, and a surge of powerful spiritual power spurted out, each blow affecting the seawater in all directions. Break it for me. Tianqieze let out a roar and hit one of the tentacles of the octopus monster with his right fist. Bang! With a deafening roar, the tentacles shattered inch by inch, turning into fluorescent dots and disappearing. The octopus monster let out a painful roar and suddenly retreated. Where are we going? Tianqieze moved the phantom of the Kuntian giant beast behind him, and the phantom began to inhale. The majestic sea rushed towards the phantom of the Kuntian giant beast, making it more and more realistic. Roar. Suddenly, the phantom opened its eyes, its crimson eyes sweeping around, emitting endless violence and bloodlust. Boom boom. The waves stirred wildly, and the boundless sea was swallowed by whales. The phantom of the Kuntian giant beast became increasingly clear, as if it were in essence, with a vast pressure spreading. Weya continued to spread around, and at almost the same time, everyone on the coastline and a few crazily fighting against the black dragon in the sea felt this terrifying pressure. At this moment, everyone and the monster stopped fighting and looked towards the horizon.